Fame, money, and beauty once seemed untouchable, but time always collects its debt. What happens when Hollywood's most glamorous stars become almost unrecognizable? Behind the red carpets and flashing cameras lies a darker truth shaped by aging, pressure, addiction, and obsession with perfection. In this video, we reveal 15 once iconic celebrities whose shocking transformations stunned the world. Stay with us until the end, because the final name on this list will leave you absolutely speechless.
Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace inherited far more than a fashion empire. She inherited a legacy defined by glamour, tragedy, and impossible expectations. After the shocking 1997 murder of her brother, Gianni Versace, she stepped into the spotlight as the creative force behind the iconic brand. In the 1990s, Donatella was admired for her platinum blonde hair, sleek figure, and fearless sense of luxury. She embodied the bold, sensual image that made Versace synonymous with excess and power. But in an industry obsessed with youth and perfection, the pressure to remain flawless was relentless. Over the years, Donatella turned to cosmetic procedures in an attempt to defy time. Fillers, Botox, and tightening treatments gradually transformed her face. Fuller lips, sharper cheekbones, and skin that appeared almost porcelain-like. Critics and tabloids were ruthless, claiming she had gone too far and labeling her as addicted to plastic surgery. Eventually, even doctors advised her to slow down. And as some procedures wore off, the visible effects of aging became impossible to hide. Yet Donatella never retreated. She continued to lead Versace with authority, commanding runways and shaping global fashion trends. High-profile collaborations, including her celebrated partnership with Fendi, proved her influence remained untouched. Though her appearance remains controversial, Donatella Versace stands as a symbol of survival, proof that power, resilience, and legacy can outlast beauty in a world that demands perfection. Macaulay Culkin. In the 1990s, few child stars were as instantly recognizable as Macaulay Culkin. As the mischievous Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, he became the face of childhood fame and holiday joy. With his bright blue eyes, playful smile, and perfect comic timing, Macaulay dominated the box office and seemed destined for a lifelong Hollywood career. To the world, he had everything. But fame can be unforgiving to a child. Enormous success brought massive wealth, and that wealth fueled bitter family conflict. His parents' highly publicized custody battle over his earnings robbed him of a normal childhood and left lasting emotional scars. As he stepped away from acting, tragedy struck again with the devastating loss of his sister Dakota in 2008. By his 20s, paparazzi photos showed a frail, exhausted young man who looked nothing like the cheerful child star fans remembered. Public concern grew, and many feared his story would end in tragedy. The pressure of being forever compared to his childhood image took a heavy toll. Yet Macaulay Culkin survived and rebuilt himself. Over time, he returned to the public eye, healthier and more grounded. Today, he shares a quiet life with actress Brenda Song, raising 2 children and choosing creative projects on his own terms. His journey stands as a powerful reminder that survival can be the greatest success of all. Demi Moore. Demi Moore is a name that instantly evokes classic Hollywood glamour. For decades, she stood at the center of some of cinema's most iconic moments, starring in films like Ghost, A Few Good Men, and G.I. Jane. Celebrated as one of the most beautiful women of the 1990s, Demi represented confidence, power, and timeless allure. Her face became synonymous with elegance, and her presence defined an era. However, in 2015, a series of unfiltered photographs shattered the illusion of perfection. Without retouching or studio lighting, the images sparked intense public scrutiny and reignited the brutal conversation about aging in Hollywood. Social media amplified the contrast between her past and present, while rumors of cosmetic procedures quickly followed. Critics speculated about fillers, Botox, and surgical enhancements,
some claiming her expressions appeared stiff or unnatural.
The debate intensified when Demi appeared on a Paris fashion runway, where her dramatically altered look stunned audiences and fueled speculation of botched procedures. Yet Demi refused to let the noise define her. She publicly dismissed the criticism, insisting that true beauty comes from how a person feels, not how they are judged. Today, Demi Moore has reinvented herself once again. She continues to command attention through high-fashion appearances and luxury brand campaigns, proving that while youth fades, relevance and resilience can endure.
Geena Davis. In the 1990s, Geena Davis was the definition of elegance, intelligence, and star power. A former fashion model who transitioned effortlessly into film, she captivated audiences with her tall, striking presence and warm smile. Her talent was undeniable, earning an Academy Award in 1989 for The Accidental Tourist, and later becoming beloved by a new generation as the caring mother in Stuart Little. For years, her name symbolized both beauty and credibility in Hollywood. But as time passed, the industry that once celebrated her began to turn cold. Wrinkles appeared, roles became scarce, and online comparisons between her past and present grew increasingly harsh. In 2021, candid paparazzi photos of Geena walking through Los Angeles sparked cruel headlines calling her unrecognizable. Gone were the glamorous gowns and flawless makeup. Instead, she appeared in simple clothing, oversized sunglasses, and a calm expression that suggested acceptance rather than loss. Yet Geena Davis never disappeared. She continues to act, lend her voice to meaningful projects, and fight for gender equality through the Geena Davis Institute. While Hollywood may have closed certain doors, she chose peace over perfection, honoring her legacy without chasing her past. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was once Hollywood's golden child. At just 11 years old, she captivated audiences in The Parent Trap, instantly becoming Disney's brightest new star. With her angelic face, fiery red hair, and natural charm, she seemed destined for a long and successful career. Fame came fast and far too early. As Lindsay grew up under constant scrutiny, the pressure became overwhelming. Surrounded by parties, bad influences, and relentless paparazzi attention, her personal life quickly unraveled. Instead of movie premieres, her name began dominating headlines for arrests, court appearances, and multiple stints in rehab. Substance abuse and legal troubles overshadowed her talent, and the once radiant child star appeared exhausted and hardened by stress. By her early 30s, Lindsay looked far older than her age. Her behavior on film sets, arriving late, missing shoots, or leaving without notice damaged her reputation, and Hollywood quietly shut its doors. Many believed her career was beyond saving. But Lindsay Lohan refused to disappear. In recent years, she staged a careful and determined comeback, returning to acting with Netflix films like Falling for Christmas and Irish Wish. Now living a more private life in Dubai with her husband, financier Bader Shammas, she welcomed her first child in 2023. Her story is no longer about scandal, but survival, growth, and second chances. Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte was once one of Hollywood's most desirable leading men. In the 1970s and 1980s, his rugged jawline, tousled blonde hair, and intense stare defined a generation's idea of masculine perfection. Before acting, he worked as a model, and his raw, rebellious look quickly set him apart from the polished stars of the era. Nolte wasn't just admired for his appearance, but for the depth he brought to his roles. Over 4 decades, he built a respected career with powerful performances in films like The Prince of Tides, Affliction, and Warrior. Yet time, hard living, and Hollywood excess slowly reshaped the features that once made him magnetic. Years of heavy partying and relentless work left visible marks on his face and body. When later photos surfaced showing Nolte with wild gray hair and deeply lined skin, the public reaction was cruel. Social media mocked his appearance, drawing harsh comparisons and turning him into an easy target. But Nolte never chased vanity.
He had long rejected the illusion of eternal youth. Today, Nick Nolte lives quietly, far from the Hollywood spotlight. He continues to act selectively, lending his gravelly voice to roles like Queel in The Mandalorian. No longer a heartthrob, he has become something more enduring. A respected actor who wears age honestly and proves that authenticity outlasts beauty. Brendan Fraser. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Brendan Fraser was one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. With his charming smile, athletic build, and effortless humor, he won audiences over in films like Encino Man and became a global action hero as Rick O'Connell in The Mummy. At his peak, Fraser seemed to have it all: fame, charisma, and an unstoppable career. Behind the scenes, however, his success came at a heavy cost. Years of performing his own stunts left him with serious injuries, requiring multiple surgeries and long periods of recovery. As his body broke down, his career slowed, and personal struggles followed. Divorce, financial strain, and a quiet battle with depression pushed him further away from the spotlight. When Fraser eventually reappeared, the public was shocked. The muscular heartthrob was gone, replaced by a man visibly shaped by hardship. The media was unforgiving, quickly labeling him as a fallen star. Yet few understood the pain he had endured. Refusing to give up, Brendan Fraser slowly rebuilt himself. He returned to acting with a new purpose, choosing roles rooted in vulnerability and emotional depth. That journey culminated in his powerful performance in The Whale, earning him the Academy Award in 2023. His story stands as one of Hollywood's most inspiring comebacks, proof that resilience can outshine youth. Axl Rose. In the late 1980s and 1990s, Axl Rose was the untamed face of rock music. With his long blonde hair, signature bandana, and a voice that could shift from a haunting whisper to a piercing scream, he led Guns N' Roses to global superstardom. Songs like Sweet Child of Mine and Welcome to the Jungle became anthems of a generation, and magazines regularly named him one of the sexiest men alive. He embodied rebellion, danger, and raw charisma. But even rock legends cannot escape time. After years of exhausting tours, excess, and long absences from the spotlight, Axl re-emerged, and fans were stunned. He had gained weight, his face appeared swollen, and the fiery image of his youth seemed gone. The media was ruthless, branding him unrecognizable as cruel memes spread across the internet. Yet Axl Rose refused to let ridicule define his legacy. He returned to the stage with Guns N' Roses, not as the reckless rebel of the past, but as a seasoned performer who understood that music mattered more than appearance. Today, in his early 60s, Axl continues to tour worldwide, filling stadiums with loyal fans. Though no longer a sex symbol, he remains a rock icon, proof that true legend status is earned through impact, not youth. Pamela Anderson and Yasmine Bleeth. In the 1990s, Pamela Anderson became the ultimate symbol of glamour and desire. Her slow-motion run along the beach in Baywatch, wearing that iconic red swimsuit, turned her into a global fantasy. Posters of her face covered bedroom walls, and Hollywood crowned her a sex symbol that defined an entire era. For years, her image was inseparable from youth, beauty, and fantasy. But decades later, Pamela chose a different path. Instead of chasing eternal youth, she embraced authenticity. Her face and body now reflect the natural passage of time, free from excessive cosmetic surgery. In 2023, she stunned the fashion world by appearing at Paris Fashion Week without makeup. A bold, powerful statement that redefined beauty on her own terms. She proved that confidence can outshine perfection. Her transformation mirrors that of her Baywatch co-star, Yasmine Bleeth. Once celebrated as one of television's most striking women, Yasmine's glowing skin and jet-black hair made her unforgettable. However, personal struggles and the weight of time reshaped her life and appearance.
Stepping away from Hollywood in the early 2000s, she chose privacy over fame.
Today, rare glimpses of Yasmin often shock fans. But what remains is the legacy of two women who once defined television beauty and now remind us that youth fades while truth endures beyond the spotlight. Time changes every face, but it also reveals every story. These celebrities remind us that fame and beauty are fleeting, while strength, survival, and self-acceptance endure. Behind every wrinkle and transformation lies a journey shaped by pressure, loss, and resilience. Some fell, some fought back, and others found peace beyond the spotlight. But each story carries a powerful lesson about humanity and time. If any of these transformations surprised you, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more shocking then and now stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.